Today is Wednesday, November 27, 2024. The top three main weather stories to look at here are Arctic air is on the move. It is moving from Canada into the United States. We're going to be going over how cold temperatures will be getting as we round out November and enter early December. Late November snowstorm is still on the table for some. We're going to be detailing who could see the snow and how much as well, and all the details that go along with it in the video, and your early December pattern breakdown as well at the very end of the video. So I hope you'll come back. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you have any comments, questions, concerns, we'll obviously get to those after the video here. Here are your morning lows this Wednesday morning on November 27th, and notice the temperatures up here in southwestern Canada are in the single digits. That's with a deeper snowpack on the ground across British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan over here into Manitoba. That's where the deeper snowpack is. That's where temperatures are in the single digits. Notice a few areas in the single digits teens across the northern United States as well this morning. The freezing line is up there in the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and then back there out across the Intermountain West. That's where the freezing line will stay as we go into Wednesday afternoon. More of those teens and 20s for highs across the north into the upper Midwest, into the northern plains like the Dakotas, and into portions here of Montana. And the coldest of the air still bottled up there into Canada for the time being. Let's look at precipitation here and where it could be falling over the next couple of hours or so throughout the day. This morning we have some snow showers in the mountainous areas of Colorado. That stretches back into northern New Mexico and portions of northern Arizona. Liquid precipitation entering into western Kansas here this morning as well, so keeping an eye on that. We'll see more rainfall develop across portions there of, say, the St. Louis area back toward Kansas City as we go into this afternoon. That could stretch over as far east as Indianapolis or even Dayton, Ohio as we go into the afternoon. And then turning into more of a precipitation shield across the Ohio Valley, maybe some dynamic cooling overnight tonight that could change that rain over to some snowflakes. They will be wet snowflakes across Indianapolis, over here into the Dayton area, maybe even Columbus, Ohio as well. Not really looking at much of an accumulation with this, maybe a trace to a dusting here on those grassy surfaces with this, but the main snowfall will be out here into the Rockies of Colorado, back into Utah, where we'll see a couple of feet of snow over the next 12 to 24 hours. That's where the snowfall will really be adding up. Let's look at your temperature anomalies. So here is Thanksgiving Day. This is tomorrow, November 28th. Notice the floodgates open for the cold air. So the snowpack enhancing that cold air up here in Canada, but it's still traveling southeast into the central and eastern U.S. So this will move all the way down toward the Gulf Coast for Thanksgiving. Friday, it goes all the way to central Florida, northern Mexico, and then as we go into Saturday, that just pushes all the way off the East Coast and even into southern Florida. We could be getting close to below normal temperature territory. So that's what we're seeing as we round out November. Here are those highs during that time frame. So Thursday afternoon, this is tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day. Here are your highs. Yeah, Thanksgiving could be very chilly up here, if not downright frigid for North Dakota and northeastern Montana, areas that may not even reach 10 degrees above zero Thanksgiving Day. 38 degrees for a high on Thanksgiving in Chicago, 38 into the Kansas City area, and 55 for a high on Thanksgiving Day in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Going into Friday afternoon, notice more of the single digits in the teens starting to overspread a lot of the upper Midwest for high temperatures, and more of the 20s across portions of the Ohio Valley, and that'll largely continue even into the start of the weekend, which will round out the month of November on Saturday afternoon, November 30th. So that's what we're seeing there as well. Let's look back at the month of November. I know it's not over yet here. It is just the 27th of the month, but looking here at the month as a whole, it was actually a lot cooler than normal out across the western third of the United States and the western third of Canada, especially for British Columbia up here into Alberta. But areas east of the Rockies have been pretty much above normal and well above normal here for the 27 days so far of November. So even though we have the cold air to round out the month, this month is likely to end up, when you average it all out, above normal for much of the eastern and central U.S. So that is something to keep an eye on as well. as we do get those final stats in here over the next few days. Let's look here at the storm track and what we could be seeing for Thanksgiving. There is still the potential for a significant storm system across the eastern U.S., especially the mid-Atlantic, up into the Northeast and New England. 991 millibars here on Thanksgiving Day, somewhere across the Poconos in eastern Pennsylvania. And then the ensemble guidance has this just offshore of Maine Thursday night as a 981 millibar low. That'll move up into eastern Canada here, just north of Nova Scotia, as a 976 millibar low pressure there on Friday, and then 977 up there into far eastern Canada here as we go into Saturday, November 30th. So what this is going to do is potentially bring enough dynamic cooling with it. We got the colder air coming in from Canada, turning that rain over to snow, and that could be piling up there from northern Pennsylvania into much of New York State, into Vermont, New Hampshire, and even into western Maine as we go into Thanksgiving Day. The atmosphere cools down more as we go into Thursday night as the sun sets. That will change a lot of that rain over to snow. Looks like it stays mostly rainfall near and east of the I-39 or I-95 corridor rather, from Boston down there toward Hartford and into New York City there and into Long Island. A lot of those areas will be primarily rain, maybe a few snowflakes mixing in here or there. Going into Friday, a lot of this is going to be lake effect snow induced across the Great Lakes. Pick your area here in the lakes. Definitely going to be seeing the potential for some heavier lake effect snow. That will round out the month of November as well on Saturday, and that snowfall will still be piling up there around the lakes. So looking at the national blend of models, this puts all the weather models together and gives you kind of a mean of what you could look at for snowfall, seeing obviously some heavier snows out here in the Colorado Rockies, but also a little stripe of snow here through the Midwest, really not seeing much more than an inch of snow at most here in the grassy surfaces. And then looking at the Northeast, looks like some decent snows perhaps across interior Northeast, interior New England. This is along and west of I-95, so we're definitely keeping an eye on that. And look at all these areas like Buffalo, New York, Erie, Pennsylvania, Watertown, New York. We could be seeing some heavier pockets of snow for lake effect snow, and you zoom it out around the lakes. You see that up here in the UP of Michigan for Lake Superior. You see it in western lower Michigan off of Lake Michigan there, Lake Erie, a lot of the lakes here, Lake Huron. We could be seeing quite a bit of snowfall here off the lakes. And you go further north into Canada, yeah, the Hudson Bay as well. We could be seeing some lake effect snow up there off the bay. So definitely seeing a lot of lake effect snow with this setup here. And then as we enter into early December, the first 10 days of the month looks to be primarily warmer as a ridge of high pressure builds further off across the western United States, really along and west of the plains, and then east toward the Mississippi River on eastward, we're going to see below normal temperatures during the first 10 days of the month of December, and a pretty dry start to the month for most of the United States, maybe a little bit wetter down here toward the Rio Grande or up here into portions of the Black Hills of the Dakotas and the international border there between Canada and the United States. Could be getting some active weather, and this could lead to more lake effect snow as well for the Great Lakes as we go through the first 10 days of December. I hope you'll come back. Make sure to like the video down below for the latest information. Subscribe to the channel as well. We're approaching 3,000 subscribers here on the channel. Make sure to subscribe for the latest information here, and I hope you will come back and check back often for updates. Hope you have a great rest of your day out there, everybody. Thanks for watching.